Hello, fellow Stone Seekers. Welcome to Deck Techs with Darb the Bard. Did your faith in the Faith mechanic weaken during existence? If so, let's get your faith fortified. Call of the Stones has come with lots of new support for faith, so let's take a look. The link to the full deck list is in the description. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. This is an upgrade to a faith deck I built for existence. For those unfamiliar, faith is an additional resource, granted by certain cards. For example, Sister Azura Silversong gains us 3 faith on arrival. We can then spend that faith during the game to activate certain abilities. Sister Azura Silversong is again a good example as she allows us to tap her and spend X faith to gain X energy. That additional energy boost can create a big swing when played at the right moment. Faith was one of my favorite archetypes from the Existence set, and the new cards from Call of the Stones have made it even better. The biggest reason for my optimism is Experiment Z9v3-7. If it looks familiar, it should, because it has the same ability as Experiment X7v1-3, a staple of all faith decks. Both the old and new experiments get +1 for each faith we have. A key difference is the new experiment creates only 1 faith on arrival, while the original experiment has a tap-free ability that creates faith equal to the number of biosynths we control, which can often be a large number. For this reason, I believe the new experiment is a step below the original. Even so, the new experiment is an impactful addition because it means we now have 6 wonders whose power grows based on our faith. Keep in mind that we can still create infinite faith with this deck, as I will explain later, which means all our experiments can end up with infinite power. But even if we don't get infinite faith, boosting each experiment by 10 or 20 power is still great. I'm also excited by several new cards that give us a bonus based on how much faith we have without requiring us to spend faith. A weakness of my old faith list is that it was often awkward to choose when to spend faith, and which abilities to spend it on since the rules only allow us to spend faith once per round. This is less of a concern with many of the new cards. For example, Sister Syntheria Novastra gives a target wonder +4 power for the round if we have 4 or more faith. The Radiant Hierarch Maxim Solaris lets us destroy a tapped card if we have 5 or more faith. Joricho Wellspring gives himself a buff if we have 5 or more faith, while also gaining us more faith each time we play an item or biosynth. One of my favorite faith cards from existence was Life Engine Heart, which, between its on-arrival and sacrifice-free abilities, nets us 9 faith. That's 9 extra power for each of our experiments, to take advantage of the heart even more. We're running Tech Nomad Nyx and a new card, B23 Supporting Bot, to get items from the Abyss back to our hand. Another great target for both the Nomad and the bot is A90 Plasma Detonator, which can be sacrificed to destroy all non-biosynth wonders in the realm. Since most of our wonders have the biosynth class, we can usually plan for the detonator to only destroy our opponent's wonders. Another powerful new card is All Glory, which will destroy each wonder that is not a biosynth, construct, or mech. Like the detonator, this is likely to harm our opponent much more than us. At a cost of 20, we are unlikely to ever cast it with energy. However, we can play it for 0 energy if we instead spend 20 faith. Now, let's talk about my favorite aspect of the deck, which is going infinite. The key to this is Strange Mutated Mass, which has power equal to the total power of wonders we control in adjacent realms. As a secondary wonder, we have 3 copies of the mass in the deck. This means that if we get 2 copies in adjacent realms, plus a 3rd wonder of any power, both copies of the mass instantly get infinite power. That's right, we will have infinite power in both of those realms and are never losing those battles. Of course, we're not guaranteed to draw 2 copies of the mass. If we have only 1 copy, then we probably want to play it next to an experiment, so the mass can also get a power boost equal to the amount of faith we have. While infinite power in 2 realms is impressive, it does not win the game by itself. To truly lock in the win, we want to put our mythic land, the Mount of Helios, into the same realm as a strange mutated mass. On harvest, we'll then gain faith equal to the power in the realm, which means if the mass has infinite power, we get infinite faith. There's a lot we can do with infinite faith, especially if we tap Zeltona, the Voice of the First, to allow us to use faith any number of times for the round. But the most straightforward win from there is with Versi Holoheart, which lets us spend X faith to create X hologram token wonders among any odd-numbered realm. This means if we have infinite faith, we can create infinite tokens in every odd-numbered realm. Of course, it takes some luck to get all these pieces in play at the same time, but when it happens, it is awesome. And even if we don't go infinite, The deck has plenty of ways to generate lots of faith and use that faith to our advantage. What do you think of this faith list and the new faith cards? Would you build your faith deck differently? For competitive players out there, do you think faith decks have a chance to show up in tournaments? Until next time, may your games be filled with wonder.